And this is my next bicycle project. This is a Specialized Hardrock Sport that's been sitting outside for a long time. Looks really neglected, but it looks to be complete. We're going to see if we can bring this back to use again. This is a really popular bike many years ago and still is today. Frame's a little scratched up. You can see the chain and the rear gears have just been exposed and really rusty. Rear tire is almost ready to come off here. I've got a new tube I'll try to put in here, but these are the original tires on here. Specialized rock cone, 26 by 195s. Front and rear, this one seems to be holding air. I'm going to put some more air in this. Haven't done anything to this bike yet. This is one of the early Sun Tour paddle shifts. It's got 7 gears on the rear, and everything seems to be, at least the rear wheel is not frozen. It's freewheeling like it should be. Tires making a lot of noise because it's hitting the frame. And another Sun Tour paddle shift on the crank as well. Everything is just frozen up. These paddle shifts are frozen, won't shift. Everything needs to be lubed. It's got the original Specialized seat on here too. These are all Sun Tour components on here. It's got quick release wheels. This one's on the, should be on this side. So this wheel's definitely been off before, but you can see the quick release on this side here. Pedals seem to be good on here. This rear tire, I'm not sure if it'd be any good or not, but the tread looks to be still good. Front tire as well. In fact, I still see some of the nubs on here. I'm sure this is all original. Rim brakes. Front and back. Hardrock Sport. And it's even got all the little caps on here, which I like to see for the derailleurs. And for all the brakes. It's amazing they're still on there. So at this point it won't hurt to go ahead and just wash this. More water on here won't hurt. And then we're going to lube this down really good. Get this rear tire off. I'm going to see if it'll hold air. I doubt that it will. And see if we can bring this back to useful condition here. Not sure if this will come out very well. Direct drive they call it. Made in Taiwan. Always like these Specialized bikes. Let's see if we can clean this up and bring it back to use again. And the Specialized bike at least looks a little bit better now that I washed it. Put some air in the rear tire, as you can see. It is definitely leaking from the bubbles coming out here. We got a hole in the sidewall, and this coming off the rim anyway, so it wouldn't work. Be a little bit dangerous. I got a used tire I'll put on here. Front tire seems to be holding air. Got a little bit of movement in the crank here. I'll see if we can tighten that up. Other than that, everything is kind of frozen up. I'll let this air dry off here and then lube everything. See if we can get the shifters to work again. Get this chain lubed and see if we can get that rear tire replaced. Now the Specialized is all dried off. I have oiled everything on here. Just going to let this sit, just some penetrating oil, and we want to get this rear tire off. It's just leaking. It's not going to hold air. So I've oiled all this. It's just a matter of unloosening this, and I got to get this side bolt loosened here, which already is off. Let me get this off and I'll show you the tire that I'm going to put on here. And the rear tire is off. Let's replace this tire and we're going to put a new tube in here. And this will be our tire replacement for the Specialized. This is also a 26 by 195 tire, so the exact same that's on there today. And in my stash of bike parts, I've got this new 26-inch Schrader valve stem tube we'll put in here as well. When you replace tires, you have to look to see if there's any kind of arrow for direction. I didn't see any on this tire here, so it can go on any way. Either way, rather. This came off a Trek bike. This was a front tire. It was still good. I kept it. Rear tire was shot. So now let's get the old tire off and get the new used one on this Specialized. And you want to make sure you get all the air out of the tube, and I prefer to take these off by hand. This tire's in such bad shape, it's going to come right off. And the whole thing's just going to peel right off. And there we go. Tire and tube, it's all now removed. That comes out at all. Sorry about the quality here. And this tire is in really bad shape. Now look at the top here. Definitely would be a dangerous bike to ride with it not on the rim very well. Original Specialized tire. Now let's put the new tube and tire on. I also want to check the inside rim tape. Make sure no spokes are exposed. And this looks really good. Matter of fact, the spokes on here are really good as well. All the way around, all tight. And here is our new unused tube here. Let's unpackage this. And I'd like to get the tube inside the tire first and then put it on the rim. And we got the tube all tucked away nicely in the tire here. Now let's put it on the rim. And we'll line up the hole with a Schrader valve stem and then slowly put the tire around the rim. And you just slowly go around the tire and putting the tire on the rim. I prefer to use my hands and not any kind of tools. And there we go. Tire is now on the rim. Make sure the valve stem is straight on here. And we're going to put this back on the bike and then fill it up with air. And now the rear tire is back on the Specialized. It's holding air, and the front one is still holding air as well. So I think we've got the tire and tube issues fixed. And we got all the derailleurs now unfrozen, front and rear. These shifters are very tight still, but they will shift. And I'll show a demo of how good these gears shift in the back and the crank as well. The rear. Now the gears are shifting on this. All the way back up. And the crank is shifting as well now. It's not exactly index shifting, it's more pushing the lever to the gear that you want it to go on. And there we go. All the gears are working. Seems to be very smooth. And look how smooth this rear tire is. True as it can be. Probably an early 90s bicycle maybe. And front wheel as well. Not sure about the brakes on here yet. Looks like the front ones are working. Yeah, it looks like the rear brake is working. We're ready to give this bike a ride. It's about probably a 17, 18 inch frame. A little small for me, but this bike is ready to go. And here is the Specialized, all cleaned up. Put some car wax on the frame. Put some shiny stuff on the tires. Got those looking really nice. And cleaned the chain and those rear gears a little bit better and put some special oil on the chain. This bike turned out really nice and shifts really great. Love the Specialized brand. Specialized Hardrock Sport. Brought this back from what was somebody else's trash. Love finding name brand bikes like this and bring them back to use. These brakes really work nice on it. I presume they're the original ones on there. They don't make any noise. Front tire is great. And of course we got the matching 26 by 195 on the rear. A tire is saved from a different project I had. This turned out to be a really nice bike. A bit small for me, so we're going to find this a new owner. In the neighborhood here, give you a ride around the lake, around the neighborhood, show you how nice this rides. So here we go on the Specialized